Yo, what's up? What's up? So, this is a little different. What I'm actually doing here is I'm actually vlogging my experience with I'm vlogging my experience with the with my school program, Concepts to Kicks, and this is the first episode. So it's a little rough, but primarily for my students and the teachers and staff at the school. With me just being like a external source, I'm just helping out, uh, providing the custom kicks. But so I told them this year, since last year I didn't, and I didn't have the equipment to do so. I told them this year that I would start a vlog just so they could see, what I was doing, what happens as an artist when you create, what's going on with myself, personally a little bit, so these students can really get an idea of like what it's like to be an entrepreneur in like the art sense of things. So early on, I was kind of trying to figure out like how do I do it? What do I do? Should I have like a setup or something like that? But I just wanted them to see it like the way it actually would be. So right now I'm just showing the shoes. This is one pair. Again, I really don't know the names of a lot of them. I just buy them by silhouette and how they look. So forgive me for not knowing what official pair this is. Phase one, how you doing? High life, you see that? High off life official kicks. So this is one pair. I believe we are turning this pair into a Black Lives Matter theme. This is gonna be a Black Lives Matter theme with this one, right? Yeah. So I leave myself sticky notes in the inside so I know what I'm doing. This is a BLM. Amanda, shout out. It's gonna be a BLM pair. This pair, I'm really curious to see how it's gonna come out. This is going to be a cherry blossom theme. So like all of these you seeing, these are the base shoes. This is how I bought them. This is straight factory base shoe. Cherry blossom theme, Black Lives Matter. This is gonna be a Simpsons theme. And the last one is supposed to be about overfishing, destroying the oceans through overfishing. So this is gonna be a pretty interesting project. We gave them a theme this year, so the theme was moving across time, and we just left it there. We left it vague so that we wouldn't influence their decisions and how they decided to design their actual projects. In post editing, I'll put the pictures up so you can see the concepts that they drew. And it's a pretty talented kid. So I think this year, if I'm not mistaken, they were all between fourth and sixth grade. I think they were. So they were pretty talented. Developing their skills and I mean I loved it. I enjoyed like looking at the designs that they came up with, and so now it's going to be a challenge to make those designs into like a fashionable yet artistic concept on these shoes. If you're wondering, 9 times out of 10, I order all my shoes from eBay. eBay sticker. eBay just works better for me. I'm not paying crazy prices on eBay when I order shoes. So if you're looking to order your shoes, if you're customizing anything, try eBay. Maybe you haven't, maybe you should. So this is my lineup right here. Again, I don't even remember the names of these, but this is what I got going. So right now, I'm just prepping them. Let's see, I already pulled the laces out of this one. I'm gonna start just pulling out all the laces from each shoe. In the meantime, feel free to ask any questions. I'll just be rambling, talking about the program, talking about art, maybe not talking at all. I'm sorry, but will do my best to keep you entertained. This is the part. See, I keep my sticky notes just so I know where I'm going. These came with some extra laces. I definitely need those. Definitely need extra laces because, I usually put a few pair in the boxes when I do a custom just so people have options. Cut off these eBay tags. So this shoe belongs to one of the students. Her name is Mariah, and Mariah's concept was cherry blossoms. And so I think she came up with a good idea as far as the concept or the theme of the project this year was moving across time. And if you know anything about cherry blossoms only bloom once a year. The trees only bloom like once a year, and when they bloom, they only stay in bloom for a week. So a cherry blossom, they usually have events where people come out to see the trees, because again the flowers only last for a week, and after that you gotta wait till the next year. So it's a really special thing, and I think that's a really smart and well thought out idea that to consider cherry blossoms as something that moves across time, because it's also why cherry blossoms are considered like a real thing of beauty and also a symbol of life too, because they're only here for a brief moment. But the idea is that people look at the cherry blossoms to try to find like a perfect one. And I can't exactly remember what a perfect cherry blossom looks like, but I think it's kind of like a 4-leaf clover, like one that has it has so many petals, I believe, or it's all like an even color, something to it that so people look for one of the cherry blossom blooms, the flowers, to be perfect, and it's supposed to be considered special. So it's like a rare flower amongst rare flowers. This is sometimes like the longest part of prepping a shoe, pulling your laces out, man. Sometimes it's so hard to get out. It's like stuck. Again, these are all brand new. So last year we didn't give them a theme, and they came up with some pretty cool ideas. We just gave them a freestyle. One of them I painted had like a dinosaur on it. It was like a rainbow colored shoe with like a dinosaur on it. That one was pretty fun. Some of them was just like basic color concepts. One of the students, which I thought was pretty dope, that when she came up with hers, like her colors were like, she intentionally coordinated her colors with like her outfits at home, and she had a really good understanding of like color composition. Like there wasn't too much color in one area, there wasn't too little color, and they were all like coordinated by like the she had a real good color hierarchy is what I'm saying. Like, the colors really flowed, and the bright colors were in the right spot, the darker colors were in the right spot. Did I get the shoe off eBay? Yeah, I said that a little earlier. You might have missed that one. But yeah, all these shoes are off eBay. That's my primary source for for my customs is to pull them off eBay. Jordans, at least. It's like the primary source that I pull mine off. Yeah, I understand that some people get them from stores, but for me, certain shoes, no. Now, Air Force One, yeah, that makes sense, but for the most part, I am not sourcing shoes off of out of stores unless it's a common shoe, you know. And some of these Jordans, no. There are a few, you know, being in Chicago, you know, and in the Chicago area, it's kind of easy to get sneakers though. Now, if I can't get the colorway that I need, because, you know, I'm usually buying them considering the bottoms, right? So that I want the bottoms to stay in line with the theme of the shoe. So I'm usually buying off the sole. If I can get a sole that matches the theme, then that's going to be easy. Nah, I don't do no gold apps, none of that stuff, you know, because all those shoes, at least in my opinion, are overpriced. And I don't want to go through all of that paying people to authenticate my shoes and waiting all of that time. It's all a large waste of time for me. And for me, you know, being somebody who has like some I'm not gonna say expertise, not at all, but experience in logistics, you know, moving products around and things like that. I don't have time to wait. I really don't. Like the more time I have, the better. And if I can deliver a product early, amazing. So being, you know, again, being in Chicago land, is very easy just to go somewhere else, you know, store wise, and just get them that way. Does eBay sell light stuff? What do you mean? I don't. Just clarify that a little more for me. Light stuff. As in, like, lights, you know, lighting up rooms. Like, what is light stuff? Because either way, the answer is yes. eBay is no different from Amazon. You know, it's really not in concept. It's almost, eBay is, to me at least, almost like the first Amazon. If you want to be honest about it. It's the same way. They do the same thing. But now, you know, I got a lot of sources on hand, just naturally, living where I live. So if I can get them in store, I'll get them in store. I think I bought three of these pairs in store, and everything else I bought online. And it's just cause the store didn't have the size I need. Yeah, maybe you're right about that. eBay is legit. I mean, it's a global store. However, at this point now, eBay has verified sellers. You know, like some websites do. eBay has verified sellers, where these are people who work directly with eBay, and you can just go through those people if you have a concern. You just need to know whether or not that account is verified, and it'll let you know if it's verified. You know, there are certain qualifications that a seller has to go through to be verified. You can lose verification status, you know, so eBay does a lot to protect people from, you know, getting scammed or losing money. And so it's not a bad choice. It's my preferred choice, you know, because these shoes can be expensive with this resale culture. You know, they can be really expensive. You know, these shoes are supposed to retail for less than $200, and you can go on a website And this very same shoe, somebody could be trying to sell this shoe for $200. Now everybody else on the website will say, well, if they're gonna sell their shoes for $200, I'm gonna sell mine for $200 too. But the shoe is not worth $200 at all. So on eBay, it is more likely that you will get this shoe as close to retail as possible, and I get my shoes in at least a week. So I prefer to just go that route rather than wasting my time trying to source materials, trying to negotiate and all of that. And eBay, I'm a buy it now type person. And I appreciate just being able to go, wow, okay, I'm back. Oh my God, I don't know what's going on with this. Like that was very strange. But yeah, apologies. But we are back. I don't remember what I was talking about. Either way, eBay is dope. Go check out eBay. You know, maybe you might find out, like I did, that it's the better platform for you to actually purchase shoes on. I don't plan on using any other platforms. So eBay it is for me. I'm just start breaking these down, stripping them down. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So you got a couple options when you customize and write when you getting ready to prep. So I'm just gonna pull a couple of them out. Here's one. This is acetone. Apologies for the sticker, but it's acetone. Okay, it's just acetone. Like to stick stickers on stuff, so you know. Just pull out a couple options. So this is acetone. Hardware stores, yada yada. This is also acetone. The bottle says nail polish remover, but it's acetone. Cool. So this is an option. You can find that anywhere. Dollar stores, Walmarts. This is Angelus Leather Preparer and Deglazer. So this is like a little less harsh on the actual material than acetone. A little less harsh than these two, which is good. You know, it keeps the material lasting a little longer. It prevents you from over preparing, which I'll explain in a second. But you have options. You know, this to me is the beginner's choice. Should go with this. So I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna use this instead. In order to start the process, you're gonna want some cotton balls. Cotton balls, and if you got like some tight spaces or something, Q-tips. Get you some Q-tips. Take a couple cotton balls out. You never know, so you just take a couple Q-tips. Children, ask some adults to help you. Don't go it alone if you're a child. These chemicals are not that safe. You shouldn't be inhaling them. So you can also wear a mask. Which do I use the most? Acetone. And honestly, I use the acetone mostly because I have practice. You know, I've gotten a good feel for when I'm done, when I'm ready. And also, the acetone works a little faster because it's a stronger chemical. But, I have them all just for reference when I'm speaking to those who don't have as much experience as I do. It's important for me to have them all so people will be able to understand what products are available to them and how to use them. Just turn it upside down, shake it a little bit, get the cotton ball soaked a little bit. So, preparation is like really easy. So I'm gonna take a cotton ball, and I'm gonna use this Jordan symbol for like a really good example. You can see this really easy. You'll know if this is ready, right? If you happen to be using a Jordan 1. So, just gonna rub it. And you'll feel this texture change. You'll also see here, like the cotton ball is kind of turning pink because this paint is coming off. But the texture will change. Like this cotton ball is starting to feel like it's sticking a little bit to the leather. And that's letting me know that like the protective coat over the shoe is coming off. I'm just gonna rub it. Sometimes you can see like little like flakes. Now I don't know if it'll show up on the camera, but there's like little like flakes and stuff coming off all across like the symbol. And that's just letting me know that it's actually breaking down the paint, the protection coat. And that's okay. That's actually what we want. We want to see some things coming off of here. Now, if you were working on like an all-white shoe, let's say you had an all-white shoe, you wouldn't necessarily see the cotton ball changing colors, okay? But what you would see is you would see the cotton ball get like kind of hard where you were rubbing it. The cotton ball will get hard, and there's like a white sticky substance on the actual cotton ball. But when you work on a colored shoe, it'll change colors. Now, maybe that's not enough for you, right? Maybe that's, it makes sense, but you try it one time right and you still can't tell. There's another way. When you rub it, you can put on a glove. This makes it easier to tell with a glove on. And if that glove starts to stick, when you rub it like this, the glove sticks, it's ready. It like you get that kind of noise from the glove. It's good time to paint. So I'm gonna just toss this one because I don't want to spread this color to like areas. So I'm just switch. It's important to have a lot of cotton balls because after a while, the cotton ball is not going to be good. You're going to have to use something else. Spilled a little bit on my hand. Prepping black pears. You know what? I could see that, because prepping a black pear is kind of simple. Like the color kind of like fades. It gets kind of ashy. Like the color starts to look a little faded. So it's like real easy to tell. See, look, I started rubbing the Nike check and the color started coming off immediately. That's a good sign. That means that it already wiped off the protective layer. And that's ready to go. So also, like I was saying, the colored ones, you can tell. So like they lose their shine a little bit. They get kind of ashy and like a matted look. So like here, this Nike check is not as shiny as like this toe box. Now that toe box is still has a protective coat on it. The protective coat has just been removed. And it didn't take much. A couple, like seconds rubbing right there. Right, exactly. It's easy to know that shoe is prepped because it literally just the shine on the shoe changes as soon as you start rubbing it. So definitely for those beginners and those who are students, young children who want to learn how to do this. Those are a few ways you can tell that it's ready. Doesn't take much. Just a few seconds in each area. Rub it down. And again, remember, change your cotton balls. So this entire shoe is going to change colors. So I'm going to be a bit loose with how I prep this shoe. I'm not going to worry too much about like any staining or anything like that. This shoe will not be white at all. Look like I got some paint smears from my workstation. It is a bit messy. And we just pull it off like this. Comes right out. Nothing to worry about. How about I just do this? I'll change the mat so I don't have to worry about that problem. Now this mat is it's called a gray pad, right? So this is what I mix colors off of. It just helps to see the actual true color values when you put it on something that's gray as opposed to something that's like white or something that's black, because gray has a middle value, so it helps you see whether a color is too light, too dark, and it doesn't interfere with the natural color. Rubbing it. Yeah, you don't want to when you use these products, the glazers or stripping chemicals, you don't want to oversaturate the cotton balls, because what you have to keep in mind is that cotton ball has more chemicals, more liquid in it than it looks like. They absorb really fast. So when you apply this stuff to the shoes, what winds up happening, I ripped the glove. What happens is that it soaks into the leather. Now, it doesn't just stay on the top and strip the top layers. It soaks into the pores of the leather as well. Now, if you oversaturate that, what that does is it does a little bit of damage to those fibers in the leather, which, weakens the leather over time. So you don't want to oversaturate your cotton balls, because keep in mind, like, I'm applying like a generous amount of pressure to rub, so that's also squeezing liquid out of the cotton balls into the shoe. So that's that's just something to have in the forefront of your mind, is not to oversaturate the cotton balls. It can lead to just the leather cracking, because it gets weaker, the fibers get weaker. It could also lead to the paint that you put on the surface, that can also crack, because what happens is when you paint, the layers of paint will eventually soak into the pores of the leather, and if there's any leftover acetone while you painting, it's going to mix with that paint and break down that paint, and therefore you'll wind up with like cracks. So just keep that in mind. It's also best to give the shoe a chance to fully dry once you start doing this. So I'm gonna give it a chance to fully dry before I even apply tape. I'm sorry. Yeah, before I apply tape, I'm gonna give it a chance to fully dry. Now I'm also going to give it a chance to fully dry before I begin any type of paint work. Now, my recommendation is to not prep both pairs unless you plan to paint both the same day. If you prep both pairs over time, so like let's say you work on one day and you work on the other a couple of days later, you only have you only have a couple hours, possibly like 48, before that shoe, all of the chemicals and the finisher that you wiped off, you didn't get it all off. You didn't get 100% of it off. But when you do this, you also spread it and you also push some of it back into the leather, so you're kind of displacing it, right? as you wipe some off and it gets on the cotton balls, you're also displacing some of it, into other parts of the leather. When you do that, you only have, again, like couple hours, maybe max 2 days to paint that shoe before those chemicals like resettle, and it can also make it harder to paint. So just prep what you plan to paint within the next, I would just say the next day. I had to get this little pesky Jordan sign. So this part, sometimes a cotton ball is not enough, right? Sometimes the Q-tip is not going to be enough either. So you take a toothpick and just lightly scratch at it. You'll lift it out. It'll start to come out. And that Jordan symbol is painted on pretty thick, so it'll come out. Let's get a little bit of deglazer. This will come out. You can skip this step if you like, but if you intend to have like something really detailed kind of around that area, it can help you if you decide to clean this out a little bit. But if you're just going to simply change the color of the leather in this area, yeah, you don't have to. It's all on whatever the intended design is. That'll determine like what you do with this part. But for instructional purposes, yeah, I'm gonna do it just so you can see it. Now, all of these are not created equally, all right? They just not for whatever reason. So, some of these you will have more success with than others. I don't know. Maybe it's just a different method for painting, each color. Maybe, if they come from certain factories, the way they go about this process is different probably, but this is generally the method that is going to work the best. You might be able to see it, and like little flakes are like coming off. That's good. Not a problem. My glove is slowly falling apart. You might have to change gloves. These chemicals again, they can tear up a glove. Now, they won't like be harmful to your skin like immediately or anything like that. It's not very dangerous to the skin, but what it's gonna do is it's gonna dry your skin out for sure. If you have any cuts or anything like that, you should consider wearing some gloves. Yeah, what's up, Scrawny? What's going on, brother? I see you on Twitch. There we go. See, the toothpick is not, not really damaging, but it gets the job done, which is good. We don't want to use something that's gonna like tear up this leather panel. You just want something that's gonna peel up the logo. That's it. Very optional step. You can skip this if you want. Now, I want to even that out. So, I'm going to take this little hobby. It's a hobby sander. I'm sorry, I tried to get in the camera. It's a little hobby sander. It looks like a toothbrush, don't it? But it's a sander. Yeah, you could use yellow rubber gloves. However, for me, I don't. Those yellow rubber gloves are too bulky, and they make my hands sweat a lot. But it is an option for anybody who already has some or doesn't have sweaty hands like me. I'm just getting all the little excess from the peels and stuff. I'm just getting that off. I don't want those little things affecting my design. Amazon. You can find it on Amazon. Just type in, hobby sander, mini hobby sander. You'll find this or something like it for sure. peels off like a sticker, like the little sanded pads. They just come off like stickers. You replace them real easy. Just like that. I won't use it too much more after that. So it's cleaned up all those little loose pieces of paint and material that was stuck to the shoe. Other than that, I don't really have much use for a sander. That's it. It's not really a necessary step to sand a shoe. You don't really have to do that. Once it's been rubbed down in acetone or deglazer, whichever you choose to use, the shoe is basically ready to go. It's only like a small layer of protection that's put on this shoe. So, again, like the leather, the difference in feel is different. It feels there's more of a texture now than it was, and it has like a stick to it. Like you can almost like grip it without grabbing. Like your fingers or the gloves, if you use gloves, they grip. So those are good indicators that these shoes are ready. The luster or the shine of the material changes as well. And so this one is prepped. It's ready to go. And I just repeat the same process for the next one. What's up? Yeah. Same process. I forgot to pull the laces out of this one, so I gotta pull the laces out. But it's the same process. Dang on eBay tags. I'm gonna change these gloves. I don't want any paint stains or anything like that to touch this shoe, especially not the laces. I mean, laces are just so valuable. You always could take another pair of laces and put them in a new pair of shoes, or give them back to the client as an alternative to the customized laces you put in there. Always put in there a custom pair of laces. Don't give them just the plain white ones. Give them the white ones as an option. Try to be creative. Give them something that works with the theme, But yeah, just don't hand them back a fresh pair of white laces, laced up in the shoes. That's not exciting. This is also a Q&A. If you got any questions you want to ask, anything you've been wondering about customizing sneakers, anything that you may have ever wanted to ask me, if it matters to you. Feel free to ask. just happened? Okay. Yeah, I definitely like some colored laces. It's so much better when the laces are colored. No reason to have just the plain white ones. You know, nice lace swap always makes people happy. Let's see. Let's see. Hmm. Yep, I think I'm just gonna start the prep on this next one. Looks like I don't have any reference work pulled up. So I'm gonna start the prep because I can finish these shoes today. Yeah, this one's got like a nice waxy coat coming like right off as soon as I start to rub at it. It's a good quality shoe, so I would expect the protection to be real good. Yeah. So this program, me and my partner Ben Salus, who is a elementary school art teacher. We put this program together last year, and this program is basically built on the idea that we want to teach students and young kids that any type of like ideas they have, any concepts, which plays into the name of the program, Concepts to Kicks, any concepts they have can be turned into real, tangible ideas, no matter what type of things they may be thinking they want to pursue in life, or just things they want to pursue at a young age, just to show them that it's all possible. And so, how we reinforce that idea is through a very simple process. So, we let them be creative. We give them a coloring sheet that has like a popular sneaker on it. Then we give them a theme. Again, this year's theme was moving across time. So we give them that theme, and we just ask that they use their imaginations to answer the prompt. And what they come up with is out of their heads, obviously. And what I do on my end is I produce a sneaker for the selected students, and I present it to them to reinforce the idea that their ideas are valid, that their ideas can be turned into real things. And at the same time, they get a bit of an education on art. They get a bit of an education on entrepreneurialism. A lot of these kids are underprivileged, so this may also be like their first pair of high designer sneakers. What's going on, booby? Appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. This might be their first pair of high end designer sneakers. But the point is that they get to see, should these children actually be creatives or future creatives at some point in time, that there is a chance for them to take their creative minds and create something that can be made, something that can be sold, something that they can make a career from. It's also an opportunity to reinforce the idea of being a dreamer, of being a creative person in anything you do, because their ideas are valid. It doesn't matter, if you be told that it's not possible. I heard those things as a kid. So for me, this project is it's heartfelt, and that's why I go hard for these students, because they need to see that whatever they think of, whatever they put down on paper can become a reality. They just have to believe in it first, and then they have to step out and actually make it happen. So, while we have them dazed and amazed at the fact that they have, this pair of Jordans that they created, basically they created them. It's their ideas. I just put it on the shoes for them. They're also learning, okay, that was my idea. And we make that known. We reinforce that when these shoes are presented to the kids. We reinforce that, hey, these are your ideas. Check it out. You created that. That's you. That represents you. That represents what's going on in your mind. And they learn, again, that number one, whatever they think is possible. And they also learn that artists can be entrepreneurs, for those who will go on to be creative kids. So we got a lot of messages that we impart on these kids with just a simple pair of customized shoes. So it's a good way to give back. Good way to give back. It's a fun project. I love seeing the kids open the boxes and, just be excited that, a drawing of theirs became a sneaker. last year we had CBS News come out and they covered the story and talked to me and my partner about how we came up with the project. They talked to the students, and I mean, I am an emotional and a very passionate person. Although I don't do much like public crying and tears, but the first year was just, it was just that amazing to watch those children just like jump for joy and be so happy. And it wasn't even the fact, for me at least, it wasn't the fact that I had something to do with it. Like that I created the shoe that made them so happy. It was the fact that, plain and simple, that they were happy, and who doesn't like to see a child enjoy, and really that those kids, that they were so happy that their ideas were real. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, like one of our students last year was he might have been special needs, I believe. He was highly functioning special needs student, I believe. But just to see like those kids, and on my YouTube channel you can find the CBS clip, and like one of the kids is like, oh, I'm gonna treasure these for like the rest of my life, and all of that. And that was just like heartfelt, because it wasn't about me. It was that he had seen his work, his ideas, what came out of his mind, everything that he wrote on paper. He had seen his work come to life. And I think that's what meant the most to him, was that, he was validated in the moment that he got those sneakers. He understood that his ideas mean something. And, he had like his entire, like most of these kids had their entire families with them, like while the news was there, filming everybody and listening to people's stories. And so it was just a really heartfelt moment. So for me it was validation too, because I had given back to my community. I had done something for people who may not have ever had something like that happen to them otherwise. So, this year, we're just trying to step it up and create a even better, even bigger program. At this point, we're expanding, we're growing into other schools and getting more students involved. And hopefully at some point we can get to a point where we're actually showing the students how to do this themselves. That's my hope at some point. But in all of that, this shoe was prepped. This shoe is ready to go. So I think right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause, take a break, eat some lunch. It's important to stop, take a break, eat some lunch, get out of these fumes, man. This stuff has got a loud smell, man. Get out of these fumes and rehydrate, drink water, artist, eat your snacks, eat some healthy snacks. And I think I'm going to get back to it in a little bit. So appreciate y'all for stepping in. Thank you for listening to my stories, my rambles. Students, you see I'm working on your shoes. I'm coming soon. Look out for me. Peace.